everyone. My name is Heather Ace. I am a meditation teacher, writer, dancer, medicine person. I'm a bunch of things all wrapped up into one. Today, I am your eating meditation guide. Today, we will be meditating with the five senses. I love an eating meditation. One of the reasons I love one is sometimes when my brain is really busy, it can be tough to focus on my breath, which is inside. Sometimes focusing on more external things is a little bit easier. When we meditate with our food, it might be a little easier to find some space in the day to squeeze in a meditation because we can eat and meditate at the same time. Meditation raises our gratitude for the food and the planet that grows it. We find a way to say thank you to animals that gave their life to sustain our life. We find a way to appreciate the people and the hands that prepared our food, whether they're your own, a loved one, or maybe a local restaurant. So a few things about meditation, okay? The way I like to describe it is about 4 steps, okay? So step 1 is that moment where you're focusing, right? Let's say you're focusing on this beautiful piece of citrus. You're seeing all the pores. You're smelling the citrus. You're getting some textural cues in the touch. And then guess what happens every single time? Every single time. Guess what happens when you meditate? You lose focus. I built it into step 2 because it's going to happen. It's the part where a lot of people get really frustrated at themselves and think that they aren't able to meditate. But we're not trying to clear our mind of thoughts. We're just viewing our thoughts. That's where step 3 comes in. Step 3 is that moment when you notice that you've become distracted. It's that moment when you go, oh my God, crap, I'm meditating. Oh my God, my tangerine. That's an interesting part. And you will have those moments. You will notice in meditation when your point of focus has drifted outside the present moment. Step 3 is really interesting. When you realize that you've lost your focus, step 3 gives you the ability to flex that focus muscle and come back to step 1, where you're focusing on one thing. Step 1, you're focusing. Step 2, you get distracted. Step 3, you realize it. Step 4, you come back to focusing. That's what we're going to be doing today with our eating meditation. A lot of times in traditional meditation, the focus is on the breath. Again, today we'll be focusing on our 5, maybe 6 senses, and our engagement with the food or beverage right in front of us. Sound good? Yeah? I'll be guiding you as we go along. I'll be playing you in and out with my lovely steel tongue drum. And because I've pre-recorded this, you can rewind and come back anytime you need. Yeah? Well, let's get started, okay? The first thing I would love to do is actually get some breath meditation into practice, okay? So we're gonna do that for a few minutes. Here's what you're gonna do. Find a comfortable seat. Maybe you wanna use a wall, to sit up straight. Support your back. A lot of us don't have the abdominal muscles needed to sit up for a long period of time without pain. I am sitting in my office chair, so I've got a back to my seat. You'll want both feet planted on the ground, and you'll want to find a space that's as free from distraction as possible, okay? That's tough sometimes. No worries. We can work with the distractions, right? It's built into step 2. All right, here we go. I'll ask you to either flutter the eyes completely closed for this time period, or you kind of stare ahead, not really focusing on anything, just kind of let your gaze go soft, huh? Okay, here we go. We will start our meditation by bringing our awareness to the space right at the top of our head. Bring all your focus to the top of your head. Really feel that space. Like wax melting from a candle, begin to feel your focus drip downwards. Relax the muscles in the face. Let your jaw go soft. Find a little bit more space in the chest and feel yourself breathe in and out in the chest region. Bring your belly around to the navel region, bring your breath down to the navel region. And let your belly go soft. And then lastly, feel yourself breathing in and out of your pelvic bowl. In this moment, your point of focus, your home base, where you can always return to, is your belly and the breathing inside of it. Feel your belly interacting with your breath as it expands and then depletes. When you find that your focus has drifted from this experience of breathing to literally anything else, this is where you make that decision to flex that focus muscle and come back to concentrating on your breath. So I'll ask you to flutter the eyes open, and we are going to begin a wild ride through the 5 senses with food or beverage. You ready for this? All right. So in this moment, our point of focus now becomes this piece of food. And even in this moment, we are able to become aware of certain things. Feel around. Maybe you feel you're already salivating at the thought of eating something tasty or juicy. Maybe your body and brain have registered that you're not hungry or interested in food right now. Start to kind of piece together how you're feeling at the top of the meditation, because at the end, we're going to try and compare, yeah? So we're taking note of any thoughts, feelings, or emotions that float up. We're not trying to suppress them, right? We're letting them come up. We peek at them and then let them float away, yeah? All right, my friends. So before we dive in at all, we begin to contemplate the life that our food had before it reached our table. So just gaze at the food or beverage that you have in front of you and see how far you can take back, the history of this item. So I'll use this beautiful tangerine. or maybe it's a miniola, maybe it's tangerine. I'll use this tangerine as an example of what I mean. So I'm looking at this tangerine and I picture a seed, you know, where plants come from. We can picture that beautiful seed, and close your eyes if you'd like to roll through this visualization. We see the seed begin to sprout, a sprout traveling in the dirt, higher and higher until there's just a little glimmer of light, of blue sky. And this little root pops above the soil and begins to grow, not just upward towards the sun, but its roots grow down, anchoring it into this cool, beautiful smelling soil. This green shoot begins to produce leaves and fragrant, sweet smelling blossoms. This shoot grows up into a small but mighty tree. Many people, hands, voices, and this beautiful exchange of oxygen and carbon dioxide happen day in and day out. The chatter of lovely people tending to these plants, the sound of raking and shoveling. This tree continues to grow and it feels the patter of rain, the rumble of thunder, the scorch of the sun and cold nights. Slowly but surely, fruit is born. Maybe you hear the excitement of the folks that grow our food. Imagine the sound and touch of this fruit being harvested. A dull thud as it falls into a bin with other pieces of fruit. It's been months now. After this, the fruit's journey is not over. The bin is not the last place that it lives. It is put onto a truck, driven here and there, dropped off at the store by us, and then lovingly placed on beautiful displays, fragrant displays, colorful displays in the store where we bought them. It feels the touch of many hands picking and choosing which ones it wants to go home with. All the while, this fruit is aging and ripening, maturing. And then here, magically almost, after a journey like that, it is in my hands, in my home. This piece of fruit has a story and a life. My friends, with one big deep breath in and out, we begin to use our sense of touch to explore the food or beverage in front of us. Careful if things are quite hot or cold. Feel textures, or maybe even use your utensil to feel the shape and the weight of something. In my tangerine, I'm noticing the coarseness of this nodule where the branch came out, and I'm touching the smooth but still kind of bumpy texture of the skin. Maybe put it on your lips, which have a lot of nerve endings, or face if you want to feel that way, like a child. Very smart. And then as I get ready to tear the skin, I'm going to switch on my sense of hearing. I'm hearing the sound of that peel. I just saw this beautiful spritz of citrus juice come up. And now, without even asking, this beautiful floral citrus, scent is coming my way. And I'm noticing the peel smells different than the fruit. Maybe in your food you hear your water slosh around, or a sizzle, a clink. Maybe you're noticing these beautiful bright colors in your food, or where there's no color. The shape of a leaf of a grain. If something is smooth, round, or rectangle. When you notice that your thoughts have floated far away from the food or beverage right in front of you, guess what? You take a deep breath in and out, and you come back to concentrating on your food. And we're not using the sense of taste just yet. Stick with the scents, stick with the sights, the sounds, and the sense of touch as you continue to explore your food. And as we get ready to taste, interesting things happen in the mouth and the digestive system. When we smell food, our body begins the digestive process. It's actually really important to smell our food. Take a few slow and luxurious breaths deep in and out of your food. It's pretty fabulous. And the sound, it's like a less crazy bubble wrap pop. Nature's bubble wrap. I'm even looking at things like this that I'd normally discard, this peel, and I'm looking at all that like color there, almost like peachy. The texture here is so different. The smell of the peel is different than the fruit, I'm noticing. I had a feeling that have a nice sound to it. So now we prepare to indulge in a sense of taste. And already I am like knee deep in this meal, right? I am contemplating so much more about it, so that this first bite is pretty special at this point. So as you begin to taste, know that there's different parts of your tongue taste different things: sweet, salty, sour, bitter. And so move the food around your mouth, under your tongue, around your teeth, or your beverage, so that you can get this like bouquet of tastes, right? Chew slowly. As you chew, we get another sense of sound, right? As we chew, we get more texture, right? So like touch. As we peel away, we get different sights. Now I'm into like a whole nother zone of this fruit. We might get more smells. Provecho, cheers. Bon appetit, bon appetito. after your first bite, just pause. When you swallow, just pause and just travel with the food. You know, it goes down, it enters our belly region, and it starts its journey through our intestines. You'd be surprised with some concentration and just a little bit of focus how far you can follow the food through your body, huh? I noticed this amazing burst of juice. I noticed that the texture as I chewed changed, as some of this, the white part came in, it made it like gummier and it changed the taste a little bit. I noticed that this is just slightly riper than I normally eat it. And my thoughts wanted to be like, oh, this isn't my favorite, but I flexed my focus muscle and I just came back to noticing the taste. No need for judgment. I'm not writing a review on these type of tangerines. I'm just experiencing what is, right? So stick with your meal. What are you hearing? What are you tasting? What different textures or touch information is there? What can you smell and hear? See how much you can chew, you know, how chewy something is. Our bodies, so chewing is the first level of digestion. So we can help out our bodies by chewing as much as possible too. If you want to pause here and finish your meal with, you know, no TV, no cell phone, not even conversation, no reading, just in this state with the five senses, please do so here. And then when you're finished with your meal, come on back and we'll close this thing out. So by this time you might have finished your meal, and a few interesting things might have happened. When we eat, mindfully, our body is given way more clues that help it determine if you are satisfied, if you're full. When we eat quickly and mindlessly, we miss those cues a lot, right? And we eat too much, more than we wanted. We get the stomach ache, we get the regret, we get the shame, all that. When we eat more mindfully, those cues are right up front. You'll know right when you're full. You know, I love the eating meditation, like I said, because if you're like me, I eat a lot throughout the day. And not every meal I'm able to eat mindfully. I just don't have the time in the day. But something really lovely to do is just before your first bite, and that's hard, right? That first bite, you're usually hungry, you're not thinking about it, you just want food in the body. See if you can pause, even for a few seconds, right before your first bite of your meal, and just tick through those five senses. What is the texture like? How does it feel? How does it hear? You know, what does it sound like? What does it look like? You know, identify the colors. What does it smell like? Really smell your food before you eat it. And then as you taste, stick with those flavors, right? Like how they work together or not. And then chew your food, right? All the way to completion. Each bite, swallow it, feel it go down, pause, and then continue your meal. Even that minute of acknowledgement and appreciation absolutely raises our gratitude for the food we have, because not everybody has a meal. What a blessing it is to have a meal. For the hands that prepared it, we don't always appreciate the people that take the time and effort to grow our food and cook our food and serve our food. You know, think of them. And then think of the planet where our food comes from, these magical, nourishing, full of vitamin items that are free and available and just grow out of our planet for our, sustenance. It's an amazing thing that we live on a planet that continually supports us with everything we need to grow and thrive. It has been a really lovely time, and I hope you've gotten some tips that you can use, when we're not together on the video. I hope you've had a relaxing time at mealtime. For a lot of us that grew up, with food issues, sometimes mealtime is stressful or filled with shame or anxiety. So I hope you've had a relaxing time enjoying your meal or beverage. And let's just do a little breathing on our way out. So if you'll flutter the eyes closed, find the comfortable seat with a nice straight spine. We'll relax all the muscles in our face. We'll unclench our jaw. We'll find a little bit more space in our chest. We'll let our bellies go soft. And we'll begin again breathing deeply in and out of our pelvic bowl. In these last few moments with your breath, try and stick with it, knowing that all day we breathe just like this. Belly's filling, belly's emptying. And so in this moment where you recognize that magic, we honor our breath. We thank our breath. Flutter the eyes open. This was a lovely time spent with you. I really mean that. My name is Heather Ace. I'd love for you to stay in touch. I go by the name SemiWoo on Instagram, so semi_woo. Or you can find me. My name is Heather Ace Adams. Here for you whenever you need. I teach multiple classes throughout the week, and you can find me all over the place. Thank you for your time. Thank you for your energy. Thank you for taking care of yourself, because when you take care of you, it radiates out to all of us. So thank you for your work and for taking care of us. Big love to you. Enjoy your weekend. Bye.